Hello and welcome to today's tutorial, which should be useful to both seasoned Trigger users and also new comers to Trigger as well. Because in the recent version, recent release of Trigger, the menu structure changed slightly. So we now have a pop-up menu associated with the toolbar at the top of the screen, with the tab bar, which is this region just below the toolbar, and also the status bar at the bottom of the screen. Now, depending on whether you're a PC user or a Mac user, this is either the pop-up menus are brought up in the usual way, either with a control click on a Mac system or a right click on a PC system. And we'll look at the pop-up menu for the toolbar, and you'll see it's very simple. You just have three choices of size for the toolbar. Likewise, the pop-up menu for the tab bar gives you various options here, and also you have a sub menu which allows you again to change the size of the tabs. Down on the status bar, the pop-up menu here allows you to show and hide various icons which can contain information to the user as you desire. So today I'm just going to quickly talk about how we can quickly change the layout. We are in grid layout here, and if we want to add rows or columns to give us more empty spaces within this cue sheet, then we go to project options, cue sheet layout, and there you can see we can select the type of layout we want, the style of layout, and we can add rows and columns as we wish. So if I, for example, have 8 rows but only 6 visible, what we end up with is scroll bars at the side here. So our grid positions stay the same, but we actually add rows. We can of course reduce the size of the grid. We go back to cue sheet layout and we increase the number of visible rows, and then you see the grid size obviously changes to accommodate the extra buttons. If we want to add an whole entire cue sheet, then we go to the tab bar, we right click or control click if you're on a Mac system, and click on new cue sheet and give it the cue sheet a name. We may call this dump sheet, and there we have a new cue sheet added with the appropriate number of grid positions. We can change the name. We may want to call our main cue sheet, we might want to call it main cue sheet. It's popped up on another monitor, but here it is. And we just simply type in the new name, whatever we choose it to be. We did see briefly earlier on that within project options you can change your cue sheet layout as well. So if we want to generally use Trigger in a more linear way rather than a random way, often standard layout works better for that. And you can see now the cues are stacked up left to right horizontally. We can stack them vertically if we prefer, by going back into cue sheet layout and make it a vertical stack. And we may choose perhaps to reduce the number of columns, say to something like that. And now you can see that the cues are now stacked from top to bottom and then left to right. Okay, well that ends today's tutorial. I hope you found it useful, and I'll speak to you again soon.